Hello, this is Abbie Dagrin, and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I'll be doing one on Kendrick Lamar. I'll be speaking on his personality traits, as well as his characteristic traits based off of his natal chart. I'll also be speaking on how a lot of his placements have led to a lot of the success he's endured, so please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and also have that notification button push. Please also make sure you hit that like button and that share button, because I know you guys will like this video. Sharing this video with your friends, family members, enemies, or anyone who loves Kendrick will be something that's very wonderful. So now let's get right into the video. Kendrick Lamar, he was born on June 17th, 1987, so this qualifies him to be a Gemini. With this placement, he's someone that's very intelligent. He is a mutable sign, so that makes him very flexible, very curious, and very communicative. He's someone that is very great with adapting to his environments due to that mutable sign that he has. He's very quick, bright, and agile-minded. He's someone who has a short attention span sometimes, but he loves things of different aspects of life. He tends to avoid deep, close emotional involvement, and he is someone who loves to be stimulated with new ideas. He loves to talk to people and loves to deal with social gatherings, and he loves having closeness with people. So up next would be his moon in Pisces, and with this placement, he's someone who's very much in depth with his emotions, very intuitive. He may have a lot of emotional sensitivity. He's someone who has a lot of emotional capacity, and he's very empathetic. He's very compassionate, and he's someone who likes to tune into different things around him. He is someone who's an empath, and he is very sensitive. He's very artistic, and if you look at his work, you do see that. He has a lot of deep emotions, and he's very whimsical. He can be very subjective and idealistic. Sometimes he can be indecisive and have weak boundaries, but he also has a powerful intuition. He's someone who is introspective, and this is very beneficial for different aspects in his life as well. He's someone who loves to do things that are very much in tune with his intuition. Up next would be his Mercury in Cancer, which he more than likely will have, because if you have a Gemini moon, or if you have a Gemini sun, a Cancer sun, or a Leo sun, you more than likely will have one of these Mercuries in Cancer. He's someone who is going to always talk about things, and he may have a lot of emotions when it is in regards to his family. He is someone who likes to practice empathy with himself and others. He's someone who may at times his emotions may rule out his thought process, and he may have a hard time seeing things objectively. He has very great memory, and he always remembers things. He's someone who loves to make major decisions, and he always thinks about his family, and he thinks about things that are about tradition and that will really help his family be strong. Up next would be his Venus in Gemini. With this placement, he's all about intellect. He's someone who's very logical, and he's very witty. He's lighthearted and versatile, and that's who he is attracted to as well. He's someone who is all about communication. He's all about being playful and likes to tease people. He's someone who uses wit to attract others. He wants a very lighthearted and stimulating relationship. He's someone who can talk endlessly yet skip over deeper issues. He loves variety and takes changes in that frequently. He needs someone who gives him freedom, and he's someone who is attracted to fun. He likes to omit rather than lie. He loves to have good manners and good conversations, and he always has a big group of friends. He's someone who's very eloquent, very charming, And he's someone who loves to have social engagements. Up next would be his Mars in Cancer. With this placement, he's very so sensitive and emotionally reactive sometimes. He is someone who can be very slow to anger, but that can help him be moody sometimes so he doesn't have to deal with conflict. However, if he is vocal, then it kind of goes away sometimes, that moodiness. Also with this placement, he is about sensitivity. He has a very rich imagination. He's very cautious, and he is all about being any familial bond or a relationship. He's also someone who loves to build a family with traditions and a safe home. He's someone who creates masterpiece in his art, and if you listen to his music, you do see that. He's also someone who loves to be unpredictable, but he also is fearless. Up next would be his lovely Jupiter in Aries, and with this placement, he's all about having energy for travel and meeting challenges head on, and this is why he loves engaging in new opportunities. This is actually great because he is someone who travels a lot on tour and he does music around the world, so having this love is very important and very beneficial for him. He loves to connect with his inner warrior, and he loves to be independent. He loves to assert himself, and he is all about being daring. He likes to take a leap of faith, and he is someone who has greater confidence flows. He is all about his entrepreneurial skills, and he's someone who loves to work. With this placement, he's also someone who may have a hard time being patient with certain things, or he gets his luck when he's always putting himself out there and just putting himself in a way that he believes himself. Up next would be his Saturn in Sagittarius. At this placement, he is all about being fearless, and he's all about finding answers to things in life. With this placement, he may have the obstacle of always having setbacks earlier in his life to teach him patience and perseverance. With him being a fire sign in this placement, patience is something that fire signs may not always have, but having this in the Saturn placement, because Saturn is all about patience and time and lessons, that is something that he will get to learn. And with these experiences, he will be able to talk about the experiences he's gone through musically or verbally. He's someone who loves adventure, and he loves to face different challenges. So in a way, it's a win-win situation because Sagittarius placements love adventure, and with the Saturn placement, they will be doing things differently. Up next would be his Uranus in Sagittarius. And with this placement, he's someone that has a tendency, as well as his peers, to think of all kinds of ideas, customs, and tradition from the past that are outdated and irrelevant, and they are attracted to new ideas, philosophies, and religions that will cause a sweeping change throughout the world. Also with this placement, he's all about being gifted with a high sense of imagination and intuition, and more than likely people with this placement have this. They're all about freedom, adventure, and traveling. Sometimes they can be very religious, philosophical, and have an aptitude for different types of sciences. They are different, and they are the rebellious type of people. They are all about learning new ideas and just being open-minded. So this placement is very, very open-minded and great to have. Up next would be his lovely Neptune in Capricorn. And with this placement, he is someone who's all about increasing his wealth, power, and influence in this world. And he is going to increase it in any way possible. With this placement, he's someone who's meant to really do whatever it is possible to gain this, and having Capricorn in this placement is very interesting because they're able to find different ways to increase their wealth. Like, he is a rapper, and he's someone who does a lot of music, and He tends to do a lot of music from time to time, so that grows his influence, and that also grows his wealth because he's able to make money from that. That's something that's very beneficial to him because he's able to just be successful in a way that is very good. Up next is his Pluto and Scorpio. Since he was born between 1984 and 1995, he is a part of Generation Y, which is Gen Millennials, and they're the types of people who transform the holder of the energy. They're all about change. They're all about becoming different from the generation before. They are not scared to approach the status quo and do things that they feel like it's great. They prefer burning the ground down completely to make it comfortable for everyone else. And they're the types of people who are very real. They're the types of people who are going to be honest about experiences, and they're not going to really care about what the previous generation has said or liked. So in a way, this is a very great placement, and being a millennial is very fun. So in my opinion, it's great. Up next is his North Node in Aries, and with this placement he will need to develop these attributes. So basically, first, being bold and an assertive initiator, using his energy and courage to inspire change, identifying with the warrior within, asserting his self-will to overcome challenges, taking risk and not being afraid to speak his mind, being the pioneering spirit of his generation, not to be concerned with what others think and want, follow the path of his own desires, and there is no way that he can go wrong, surrounding himself with people who support his assertiveness and boldness, incorporating Aries vibes into his daily life to remind himself of his vision, and most importantly, being the spiritual warrior that he is meant to be. Also, with this placement, he is going to learn courage and learning how to be himself. Up next would be his Chiron in Gemini. And with this placement, he is someone who had the womb with communication, learning, intellectual pursuits, or trauma related to early education, siblings, or neighborhood community. He may have had a struggle to communicate or to express themselves early on in life, so this is something that is very hard. He may have also had something that was just very hard for him to deal with, and how to heal. He would need to embrace his curiosity, cultivate a growth mindset, shift his perspective on life experiences and challenges, embrace his creativity, let go of his perfectionism, embrace his voice and use it, know his voice and ideas matter, and share them with the world. Up next is his Libra rising, and with this placement, he is someone who is very pleasant, very charismatic. He's all about peace, and he loves to avoid conflict at any given time. He dislikes being alone, but he is keen on fashion and aware of his looks. He's someone who is very polite, typically have many friends. He's someone who's very gracious, and he may appear friendly, but sometimes he can be detached or shallow. He may at times tend to pass the blame game to keep up his nice image. He may be very persuasive and makes a good mediator. And he's someone who tends to always like to help others in the way that he can. He's someone who's very likable and easygoing to people. He's very nice, fair, and always charming. He's someone who's very easily attracted to others, and people are attracted to him as well. So this is a great placement to have. Last but not least is his Cancer midheaven, and with this placement in regards to his career, he's someone who's very intuitive, very nurturing, very organized, very trustworthy, and very caring. And this is something that we would see in his career and how people would very much view him. He's someone who's great at cultivating talents, and he is very sensitive to others. He's all about going with the flow, and he's able to do things differently. Now, in regards to his career, he may be very much nurturing a grudge. He may be overwhelmed by chaos, and he may get swept in the flow. However, with this placement, People tend to be in the healthcare industry and they tend to really like to help people, and he clearly does it in the way that he makes music, and this is something that is beneficial to him, very helpful to him, and it's just a very great placement. That's all I had for you lovelies today regarding Kendrick Lamar's natal chart. Please let me know down below, did you learn more about him? Did you get a better understanding as to who he is as a person? Please also let me know who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. Please make sure you're subscribed, you've hit that like button and that share button, that notification bell, and that like button. I love you all, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye lovelies.